Morning, everybody. We'll just wait for a couple more people as they start joining us now, and then we will make a start. So if you can all see the our screen, give us a thumbs up. Yeah, thank you, Mike. Great. Thank you, Mark. People.
Okay, we're going to get started. Some people might trickle in, but thank you all very much for joining this webinar on Microsoft Viva, which is the latest exciting addition to the Microsoft suite. Could you hear me there? I think I just went on mute. There you go, good. Technology problems. Okay, so we'll do we'll run through the agenda quickly. First of all, we're just going to introduce you to ClerksWell. A couple of you on the call already know who we are, so thank you for joining. But we'll talk to you a little bit about ClerksWell, explain what we do and why we're doing this webinar. Then we're going to talk about Viva and explain why it's great and why you should start using it. And then we're going to run through some next steps for you after this meeting. Mike, our CTO, will be monitoring the chat throughout because we can't actually see the chat. So if you have any questions, do just pop them in the chat and he'll pick them up. Okay, little introduction to ClerksWell. I'll start with the team that are on the webinar today. So I'm Megan, I'm an account director at ClerksWell, which means I look after quite a few of our clients, but also help to onboard some new people who want to start working with us. And then we've got Tracy-Ann, who's our marketing manager, and she's been working quite a lot with Viva to work out how it might be a good fit for our clients. And then we've got Mike, who's our Chief Technical Officer and has been working with Microsoft since the late 90s. Not to give away his age there, but a long time, very, very experienced with SharePoint and Microsoft generally. So a little bit about the company. We're an award-winning digital agency. We're based in London. We specialise in Microsoft technology and are actually a Microsoft Gold. Can you? Yeah. We offer a wide range of services, but they're all based on the Microsoft stack. So we build websites on Umbraco and Sitecore, and we do hosting on Azure, and we also do communication solutions and document management solutions based on Office 365. We've got a really expert team, and we have long-term relationships with most of our clients. So yeah, that's a little bit about ClerksWell.
So what is Microsoft Viva? Well, since the pandemic has thrown a massive spanner in the office environment and company culture, Microsoft took it upon themselves to create a centre where, as Microsoft would say, people and teams are empowered to be their best anywhere in the world. So the beauty of such technology and online technology means you can now connect, learn, communicate, innovate, whatever you like to do remotely. So Microsoft Viva is an employee experience platform that brings together communications, knowledge, learning, resources, and insights. There are 4 different strands of the Viva brand. There is Viva Connections, Viva Topics, Viva Learning, and Viva Insights. So an intranet should perform multiple roles for an organisation, and although SharePoint does provide a backbone, it isn't in the public face. So by adding that Viva brand, the personalised resource centre can now actually fully function within Teams, and we'll go through that in a minute. So Viva Connections, what is it? It's really a personalised gateway to this experience. It allows you to stay engaged and informed. Viva Connections is customised to your organisation, but it is also personalised to you as an individual. So by showing relevant feed of news, announcements, conversations, and it even has a dashboard connecting you to a company resource and tools from Viva and across the digital workplace, which is SharePoint. So you can actually tailor your Viva connections for every role, from the top of the food chain of the leadership team right the way through to the bottom, to the other employees, which basically keeps everyone connected and engaged.
Wonderful. Okay, I'm just going to do a quick demo of Viva Connections so that you can actually see what it does. So I'm going to get my screen up. So can everyone see my screen? Nod. Great. Okay, so I am now a guy called Luca, who I've switched into a guy called Luca. He's a new starter at ClerksWell. He's in the communications team, he works in London, and he does most of his work in Teams. So he wants to go to the intranet. Before Microsoft Viva, he would have had to have gone into his desktop browser, opened up SharePoint and had a look at the intranet. With Microsoft Viva, the intranet is now in Teams, which is great because you're bringing the intranet to where people work. So you can see here on the left-hand side, we've got this little widget that says ClerksWell, and it's got our little brand on it. That's Viva Connections. It's sucking the intranet into Teams. So if I click on this, it opens up my intranet. And you see it's got a nice brand. It's definitely a ClerksWell intranet. It's got this lovely navigation. Ooh. Yeah, it's got this lovely drop-down navigation. So it's not just a static page. They can move around within Viva Connections. They can move around the intranet within Viva Connections, which is great. So they never have to leave Teams to get that corporate content. So it's wonderful. We've also got corporate news, you've got team news, and you've got promoted content. One of the other features that Viva Connections has brought in is this feed along the right-hand side, which is scanning Teams and scanning your Office 365 setup for interesting new activities based on the groups and people that you normally work with. And it's promoting that in Connections so that you can stay up to date on what's going on. So that's Viva Connections in a nutshell. I'm going to touch on SharePoint personalization while we're here, because it's very important that you set personalization up for this to properly work. So SharePoint personalization powers this, really. It's been around for a long time. Many of you might be aware of it, but SharePoint personalization basically uses the information you've got in your Active Directory or in Delve to tailor the individual experience of the users. So as I've said, Luca is a new starter. So he gets this new starter section in the navigation that's personalized for him. He's also got this new starter content here, featured content, so he can go click on that and go find out what he should do as a new starter. He's also in the communications team, so he's got this bit in the navigation which is tailored to him, and he's got this team news down here. The corporate content, the corporate comms is also tailored to him, so he's in the London office, so he gets information about the London office reopening. He's a full-time employee, so he gets information about the pensions. This is all classic SharePoint stuff, but it's great to get it set up so that Viva works properly. So I'll show you another view. So this is a guy called Raf, and he has a different view of Viva Connections because his experience is personalized. So he's in the IT team, so he gets IT specific news and IT specific stuff in his navigation. And because he's a contractor as well, he doesn't get information about the company pension plan. So what Viva Connections and SharePoint is doing is they're delivering the most relevant content to each individual right in Teams, which is the really big thing about Viva Connections. It's brought the intranet into the place where people are now working, so they can access it without switching applications. So it's all great. There are a couple of drawbacks, which I'm going to touch on because I want to be very honest. So you can't comment or respond to articles in Viva Connections. That's one of the drawbacks, but I suppose at least your employees are reading it even if they're not engaging with it, which is a shame. That's one of the drawbacks. Another drawback is obviously this is great if you work in Teams, but we do all, I'm sure we all have them at our organisation. We have those people who still live in Outlook and email everything over to you. So they're not going to use Viva Connections, which is a shame, but there is a workaround for it. So you can push content from Viva Connections, so your news articles and stuff, into Outlook using a low-code Power Platform. So that is possible. And the final drawback, which I think is possibly the biggest one really, is that if you work in Teams, you know you get these little red alerts if you've got new content. So if you get a chat, you get a little red alert, or if someone tags you in something, you get a little alert in your activity feed. You don't get that with Viva Connections. So if they update content on the intranet, you unfortunately don't get a little red thing saying there's new content here, go have a look, which is a drawback that again can be solved with a low-code Power Platform solution, which is very, very helpful. That's really it from Viva Connections.
Yeah. So Viva Insights then.
So we're going to switch over to Viva Insights. There we go.
So Viva Insights basically helps you work on a productivity by working smarter with these personalized reminders. These are similar to those that we all know and love as Cortana and Microsoft Insights and Cortana, like through our Outlook and things like that. These are to prioritize and focus work, learning and coaching. So you can see the performance of yourself. You can also see the performance of your team and your employees, depending if you're a manager or part of the leadership team. And if you are a manager, you can actually report on the number of meetings, the workload, the overtime of your team, as well as compare with other teams' workloads as well. So this actually helps maintain the work-life balance and reduces the risk of employee burnout. So we're going to do another mini demonstration on the insights as well.
Yes. Okay, let me just get this up again. My good pal Luca. So Insights, yes, just below the Viva Connections tab, you've got this little tab called Insights. And as Tracy-Ann's already said, it's a bit like Cortana, which is very helpful for those of you who are a bit of a scatterbrain like me. But Insights has got this homepage, and it's all about mindfulness, the homepage, which after the year we've all had, I think we all need a bit of mindfulness. So you can check in with how you're feeling, you can do a bit of breathing. Sorry. So it's all about mindfulness, the homepage, but the useful part of it is the Stay Connected tab, which is scanning Teams and my other apps and all the other things I use in Office 365 and suggesting tasks for me. So can we have a catch up? Yeah, I've done that, so I can click that off and it's completed. So, and it's powered by artificial intelligence and automatically suggests new tasks for you so you never forget anything. And again, right here in Teams, rather than being delivered to your Outlook in the form of Cortana. And then this lovely little protect time stuff, which I use religiously. We've all had those days where you've just got back-to-back meetings, this kind of, you can pre-book focus time into your diary, and it does it automatically for you. It finds slots and attempts to book them in for you, so you have that brain space to work on the important stuff. So that's Viva Insights. Easy, very useful, but yeah, great little tool.
So what about the other two strands left? So there's Viva Learning, which rather than using multiple learning centres and resource hubs for training, coaching, learning, Viva Learning actually enables you to have all of your learning capabilities in one space. It even shows recommendations and custom content from top learning management systems and content providers such as LinkedIn Learning and Microsoft Learn. You can easily find, share, discuss learning with your other teammates as well and your managers, and as well as organise the resources to different teams, fostering a learning culture. Managers can also assign and track completion on these learning topics that are applicable to an individual's role. This is something that hasn't come out yet. It's actually coming out in the summer, so keep your eyes peeled. We will be doing a webinar on this in the next couple of months as well. Then we have Viva Topics, which uses AI to find answers to your questions within your organisation. So I like to look at this as Wikipedia for your organisation, which can even suggest certain employees who know more about the topic from previous shared work in the digital workplace within SharePoint. Viva Topics was once part of Project Syntex. So if you guys are quite familiar with Microsoft buzzwords, you may have come across Viva topics in the past, and you may have heard of it before. So why should you care about Microsoft Viva? Well, your view will never be spammed with different departmental news and communications that are not relevant to you, because Connections is personalised, as Megan suggested before, to you as an individual. And before, like Megan suggested, you would come off Teams to get into SharePoint Intranet in order to get your news and your marketing from your marketing and communications teams. But now that can all be pushed into one hub within Microsoft Teams. You can foster the learning culture in your organisation to allow your employees to continue developing their skills and growing into their role. And having that learning hub that connects all of the relevant learning management systems means learning becomes part of your daily task. And especially as a new employee, there may be times where you come across a new buzzword or a topic or an acronym that you are unsure about. This is where Topics uses that AI to show more information about that topic, or acronyms that you have all of your information provided. And even if you are still unsure, it even recommends those people to speak to you for more detail. So suddenly your overwhelming first week has been put at ease with Viva Topics, telling you who best to speak to you on those relevant topics to find out more. And finally, manage your team smarter and effectively, avoiding employee burnout with insights. So individually manage your day-to-day activities to be able to prioritize your time spent learning, focused work and meetings. And this allows you to be better organized and prioritize your day better.
So that's a very quick tour of Microsoft Viva. So what do you do next? If you like the look of what you've seen today and you'd like to start using it, everything we've demoed, if you've got Microsoft 365, you can start using today. There's no additional subscription. So Viva Connections is part of your subscription, and Viva Insights. Viva Learning will also be, it's just not out yet. And Viva Topics does come with an additional subscription. I think it's $5 a month per user, but I think Mike can answer that in the chat. But yeah, but Viva Connections and Viva Insights, you can start using today if you want to. And we do really recommend that you do, because just the benefit of bringing your intranet into Teams is just great. It's where your employees work. It's where we're moving to. We're moving away from the corporate intranet. We're moving into Teams. So how do you get started? So first of all, you need to make sure you've got an engaging and branded corporate intranet in modern SharePoint, which has got all the information your employees could need. So that's the first point. The second point is you should then configure SharePoint personalization to enable personalized content targeting. So if you haven't got this set up, it's difficult to set up initially, but once it's set up, it runs and it does get the right content to the right people automatically. So that's the second step, and Mike has done that many times, so if you do need a hand. And then the third one is just install Viva Connections, pull your intranet into Teams, get your nice logo on there and roll it out. Install Viva Insights and start working smart. And then the fifth point, which everyone always forgets, is just to train and engage your employees on the new tools. It's not a difficult thing to learn. They're very intuitive, but yeah, everyone always forgets to train their employees. So just send out a little video on how to use them, that kind of thing. So if you like the look of what you've seen today and you'd like to start using it, we are offering a free consultation to help you get the ball rolling. We'd really like to start using the tools. They're part of your subscription anyway. So if you'd like a bit of guidance on how to start going with that, we are happy to have a call and talk you through it a bit. We'll tailor the consultation to every individual organisation, but it will basically cover getting your SharePoint intranet up and running, sorting out personalisation, making sure your corporate branding's there, and then rolling out Viva. And if any of the drawbacks that I mentioned earlier, so the pushing it through to Outlook or getting the alerts in the left-hand side of Teams are important. We can talk about low-code Power Platform solutions as well in the call and how you might do that. Yeah, that's all from me.
Yeah, finally, we've got our upcoming webinars. So on the 27th of May, we will be doing one specifically around Viva topics. And then on the 24th of June, we will be doing one specifically on learning and insights. So by all means, I'll be sending out communications to all of you. So thank you for attending with not only the recording of this webinar, but also the next 2 dates. So you can put them in your diaries as well. And yeah, that's all from us. So yeah, thank you.
Hi Megan. We've had a request to just have a look at the analytics. Do you want me to just quickly take that, or are you?
I'd rather you did. I have to say, okay. Analytics is not my strong suit.
Let me just get the right window ready to share. Right. So I'll just cover this very quickly. We have the very basics, 15 views, which can be shown all over the page. But when we delve deeper, we can see, okay, so how many viewers on there, how many page views, how long people have spent on it, and how long over time. And can look at that over different time periods, and you can extract all of this information out so that you can analyze the site as a whole. What it won't tell you is specifically who people are when they're looking at things, just in terms of it's kind of illegal in quite a few places to have the list of exactly who is looking at it. But it's getting a lot better than it was, and it's quite a powerful tool.
Yeah. Any other questions that Mike can very quickly go through while we're here?
Use Mike. He's very useful.
Speak now, forever hold your peace.
No. Well, as I said, we're doing a.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we're doing a free consultation. So if any of you are interested in that and talking to Mike and ourselves a bit more, please do get in touch. We'll send out an email afterwards anyway.
But thanks all for coming, and yeah, see you next month for the next one.
Yeah.
Cheers, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Oh, thank you. That's lovely.
Oh, thank you.